Shut up. This is really stupid.
The Bloom Table.
I'm rooted in God, I'm not leaving. Welcome to the garden. You about to witness the results of the harvest. Yeah, if you ready to grow, let us know. Tune in, leave a like in the comment. Yeah, you may have grown up in bad soil,
Shut up,
but
Mark.
Jesus can turn it around. As long as you're willing to grow, His sunlight will keep coming down. Come have a seat at the table. You know that God is still able.
Boom! Guess who stepped in the room?
Hello there, darling. You are with the Bloomies. And today we are going to be talking about fasting. And I am sitting with Rosie,
Vexter, Cupcake,
Mish, and you are at the Bloom Table. So we're going to pop this thing off with Cupcake. Fasting.
Yes, fasting. What I thought fasting was before, I didn't know what fasting was before. Let's be real. I was like, what? She was like, we fast. I said, what you mean? Mom was like, yeah, you fast. Things come out when you fast.
Yeah.
It was very more in detail and a little bit way more deeper than that, but I'm just summing up kind of quick and cute. I was like, no, I've never done that. I didn't even know it was necessary. Even as a kid going into church, it wasn't like that. They weren't really in the word.
Yeah.
And even when I wanted to I want to get baptized, they laughed in my face.
Yeah.
Kind of like I wasn't even around the people who can even teach me
Yeah.
the correct things of going forth.
Right.
So fasting, I was like, what's the point? Wasn't in my word, wasn't in any of that. I thought I was saved anyway with my crazy stuff.
Sanctified.
Literally, I didn't think any of that. But once you start prayer and fasting, because I think I started with 2 days, 2 to 3 days.
No, started with 1 day.
Yeah.
Started you off with 1 day.
It was 1 day,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you literally died.
I did. I was like, what's happening? What's happening? You just laughed. You said, you'll be okay.
Right.
You'll be okay.
Right.
And then I went to 2, and then I went to 3. With the 2 and the 3, though, things started happening. I didn't have the urge to smoke anymore.
Mhm.
So I literally stopped smoking vapes. Cigarettes was a long time ago, but it with the urge of nothing, which was awesome.
Yes.
It was a mind regulator
Mm-hmm.
because my mind was whoop.
Yes.
Sorry, Dad. It was a lot. It was a lot going on in there. Oh, it was a lot. And then things I didn't know that was still attached to me. Things I didn't know that was still hounding me, and I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Things started falling off.
Yeah.
Or even in a sense, I still have things that I need to work on and fast
Yeah.
for.
Mhm.
But certain things just start falling off.
Yeah.
And you don't feel so heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that sadness is like an anguish. It's like
Yeah.
you don't know, and it really slithers in.
Yeah.
It creeps up on you.
Mm-hmm.
And fasting and praying really changes that. It's a time to commune with God because
Mhm.
He wants you to. He wants to hear from you.
Mhm.
That's when you really have His ear, technically, because He wants you. He wants you there.
Yeah.
What do you need help with? Because I'm here to fix it for you.
Yes.
Fasting is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It really is a beautiful thing, and it's necessary. And once you do it, you go to 1, you do 2, you do 3, you do 5, you do 7, you do 10, and that's where I'm at right now.
And what do you do when you do it? You say you do 1, you do 2. What am I doing?
You're first of all, you only drink water.
Mm-hmm.
You only drink water. No television.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of asked what I could watch if I could watch television,
Yeah.
but it has to be like nature shows,
Mhm.
animals, nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, unless it's like a godly television, like The Chosen,
Yeah.
or you're watching a sermon or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's where it goes forth with.
Right.
You can only have water. You can't have no crackers. You can't have
Mhm.
nothing because everybody
Yeah.
like you can't have gum. No, you can't have gum.
Yeah.
It's chewing. It's not. You can't do it.
Right.
It's not a
Right.
thing.
And sometimes that keeps people appetite down when they're chewing.
Yes.
Then you're not worried about being hungry because your mouth is actively moving. Because
Yeah.
sometimes food is not really a source for people to be hungry. It's sometimes the motion of your lips going or your something going to your mouth or something like that.
But again, when you ask for like that, what are you sacrificing? Because this is all about sacrificing to
Yeah.
get closer to Him.
Yeah.
How do you expect anything to go off if you're not sacrificing? If He could do 40 days, why can't you do 1?
True. Mm-hmm.
Like, if He could do 40,
Yeah. What's your longest fast?
10
Woo!
days. 10
10
days. 10
straight.
days.
Yeah,
10
10
straight days.
Let's be clear.
10 straight days.
Yeah. So stack on the name. Right. And how do you feel after coming off a fast?
You feel giddy. When I did the 10 days, I was giddy. I was sorry to hear that. I was excited.
Yeah.
It was like I was just happy. Everyone's like, "Why are you happy?" I said, "I'm just happy." They were like, "You're still fasting?" Even people at my job were like, "Are you fasting? Is that what are you doing? You're not eating? Oh, you're finally eating?"
Yeah.
I'll eat when the Lord says I can eat,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Because I'd rather get that stuff off me and be right and be decent and in order than to stay where I was at.
Do you feel him more when you're fasting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. Even if he's silent, though, you do, because it's a different type of covering.
Yes.
You do. You definitely do.
I love that.
For me, what was fasting? Fasting was a Daniel fast. Okay. Like I said, I was 16. I got saved. Let's just get right to it. And it was like, oh, you can eat this, you can eat this, you can eat this. Confusion. No shade, no tea. But for me, I honestly feel like it was more about literally. It was like, what is this and why? It's not a sin to ask why. And I was even taught that at some point, like, don't question God. I'm asking why we not eating. I've seen that he did the 40 days and 40 nights, but what does that mean? And how do I apply this thing and why did he do it?
Yeah.
And that was not expounded upon. It was just like he was tested, he was tempted, and the devil said this and he didn't do that, and that's it. And it's just like, oh, I didn't know it was so transformative.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. When I met you all, it was like, oh, let's fast for real. It was like, oh, that means nothing. I'm like, okay. But literally, I'm like, so water. And they laugh because
Like water with Kool-Aid.
so can it be flavorless? Like, I'm really curious. I created a whole acronym. Y'all know I'll be creating words.
Right.
FITA. Food is the answer. So if that time didn't go well, if we went out and it didn't go well, then at least we go get some food.
Right.
Food is going to comfort me. We have a relationship.
Right.
When I heard this push the plate back, I'm like, sweet, what did you saying?
Say what
Literally,
you
say what you
said.
said. Like, what does that mean? But honestly, it has changed my life forever. It has removed so much in so little time. I think the last October, we're about to hit a year. I am not the same person I was even a week ago, even a day ago, because of fasting. When I tell you that it's more than just not eating, it's the truth.
Yes.
It's literally those times that you already feel like you're having, but you just don't feel anything. Feelings ain't facts, what he said in the daily. Check it out. It's literally like, hey, like, hold on, what is they talking about? I heard him say this scripture, but what? It's like your desire for the word, the living word, because men cannot live on bread alone, but every word that proceeds out the mouth of God.
Come
The fact
on,
that I'm
speak the
hearing
word.
That the word is like living. I'm like, how can it live in me? What does it mean? How? So if I make the exchange, once again, that word's coming up, then what am I exchanging? I'm trading my sorrow for joy, but what is the sorrow that I have? Fasting lets you know exactly what's in you, what's not yours, what is yours, how you can pray for a person specifically, how you're rubbing off on them, and you like, oh, I didn't gather my things, my stuff is spilling out my purse. It's such a clearing, it's such a cleansing we are discussing. It's nothing like it. Even though it's the long suffering that you hear about what the mothers talk about, long suffering with the Lord, and I'm just waiting for his glory. Like Baxter talked about, it's literally like the glory is more revealed, because you're like, all these things that I went through that was problems or even current circumstances, these are all going to lead to some kind of glory factor. It has to, because it has to. It's just like some matter-of-factly things happen for you. I'll say that. I'll sum it up and say it gets matter-of-factly when it comes to that word, when it comes to communing with God, knowing for yourself, and being amongst those who are also seeking him in the way that you're learning to do. Because thankfully, like Rosie said, gratefully, we are together, so we have, but still, even watch the show The Chosen, the disciples, they even have moments like that where it's like everybody's coming from different backgrounds. When you fast, you check yourself with God. You can think you're checking yourself, but you're not, and then you realize, ooh, I was out of order, or ooh, I projected on them. When you're fasting, mostly you're gonna see that, and if you're not, it's gonna be revealed to you, and it just helps you. It lets you know, oh, I'm not a burden, or this person doing this for me, this is not a thing, or oh, I want to do this for this person just because, even if they are like used to me being that way. It just helps you to have everything more harmony. Harmony is so precious. Like Proverbs talks about that, how precious harmony is. And when you are in harmony with yourself, you're probably not, I ain't gonna argue. You ain't gonna do that with yourself. Try to talk yourself out of the blessings and promises. You're just not. You're not
Yeah.
going to do it with each other. It's just such a perspective change that happens internally, and you can live a different life out externally. For me, that's what it's been.
Was it a mind regulator?
Definitely, because y'all know as you hear me speaking, my mind could be going, but it makes it go in the way that it should go, and not the way that it's like, oh, I'm just flowing, I'm just going through life, and oh, I feel like this, I'm just gonna keep feeling like this. No, it's like, oh no, you don't have an excuse. You can feel like that, like you said.
Yeah.
It's okay to have forgiveness happen, but you don't want to keep being in a position where you have to say I'm sorry. That's what Rosie says a lot, and I don't want to keep having to say I'm sorry to God for the way I'm thinking. People always talk about behaviors and things, but what about how you're thinking about yourself? How you thinking about God, how you think about other people? That's a sin still.
Yeah.
But you can come out of it, and He understands. He's like, I'm telling you here, go here, go here, go here, go here. But you cannot think that way about yourself and feel that way about yourself or me, because all my promises are true. Yeah.
It sounds like somebody been fasting this week.
Yeah.
What?
You know, I had a little weekend fast. You know, I had a side of water and a side of nothing. You know, a little bit of Jesus, a little bit of worship, praise. You know, that's my full course meal. That I had. And it was
An entree of deliverance.
literally. Literally, yes. Sorry.
Right. Putting that word on you. Okay, Rosie. Swing that thing to Rosie.
The question is, what is fasting for? Excuse me, Miss Ma'am. Fasting, well, I'm like trying to tell you, I didn't know what that was. Like, we gonna eat real fast? We about to go get something real fast?
When I told you, no, we ain't going nowhere fast.
She said, push that plate
Like
back.
that real fast.
And it was like, it wasn't like, she was giving me a word. So she was like, you're going to have to push that plate back and get in your bag. And I'm like, I'm in my bag, girl. And I was like,
What plate is he talking about?
I'm like, a plate. Literally. But things got real.
Yes.
Things got real. And it was like, oh, okay, so we're fasting. And I had did like little fasts, probably like a couple years ago. It'd be like from this time to this time, that type of thing. And then I think we started with a day. And then it was like 2. And then I think I went 4 before I even did 3.
Yeah.
Then, because I was doing a 3, and I felt like the Lord was telling me to go another day, so I went another day. Then I went from 5 to 7. That's kind of how it all started. First, it's just I didn't really understand the concept of it, like the time ones. So when we started doing like the real fast, I understood. No, a lot of times we need something from the Lord, but we always need something from the Lord. And like you always say, you can't pimp heaven.
Yeah.
But you're just having to consecrate yourself. But now I kind of look at it differently. You changed my perspective on that. Because I think of it now in terms of the fact that God wants to spend time with me. It's not just that I need something from Him, but He needs something from me.
Yeah.
Be that my attention, my time. For me, when I'm fasting, I don't really do a lot of the animals like Cupcake, like sermons, or I'll do like renovation, like people tearing houses down and stuff. But like, everything clean, no cussing, or nothing like that. But for me, sometimes I just kneel at the side of my bed and just sit there. Because you gotta talk to Him, but you gotta listen to.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel like I ain't listening. So I'll be like, let me just get focused. For me, it's just really, it's God kind of tapping you on your shoulder and saying, hey, I need to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
And it's not always that you're doing something wrong.
Right.
It's just that, hey, we need to have a one-on-one. I talk to my boss every 2 weeks at work. Why wouldn't God want to talk to me?
Yeah.
You know.
Does it prepare you for things that are coming?
Oh, absolutely. It helps you dig those heels in when things happen. A lot of times, like things that I normally would have got upset about, I just laugh about it now. I just be laughing like, this is so stupid. Like, I knew this was coming.
Right.
So I also think that when I'm fasting, I feel like me and God is just like thick as thieves. I feel like it's like what'd you say? His ear is super open to me. Yes. The main line is extremely open, and I think that it's dope that I could really I could see Him like that. I could say something, bang, bang, bang. Like it's crazy to me. I feel like I was telling somebody the other day, like, no, because when we fasting, we super cooked up.
Right.
We here right now, because it's like there are no distractions. There is no time away from Him. No, I'm consecrating myself and I'm settling down here in the faith that you're gonna settle in with me too on this thing. And whatever it is that you need to do in me or remove from me, then let's go ahead and have at it with no interruption. It's that real intimate time.
At that point in time, his lips are to your ear and your ear is to his lips.
Mhm.
You're saying that you audibly hear God.
I do. Go do this. Go do
Yes.
that. Sometimes I'll be like, really? Like, but it's like, okay, because we that close. I'm for sure not about to be like, nah.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope. That God is so very concerned and that He cares that much that He would even tell me to do anything. Because He could just be like, yeah, you fasting, we have nothing to say.
Yeah.
And I think that it's dope to do it with this group of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's strength in numbers, and like literally I couldn't imagine fasting with anybody else. It's awesome. And I know that we all have some level of dopeness in the kingdom, because the way the devil be on us, it be funny, but it's like, dang, no other same people no one else is fasting. I guess it's just us. So I think it's dope.
What's the longest amount of days that you've given to the Lord in fasting?
I think 7.
Okay.
7.
Woo! 7 straight days.
7 straight
Yes.
days, just water.
No food.
Right, no food, not a cracker, not no dust, nothing. Just
She
me.
said not even a morsel.
Not a tittle nor jot. Nothing. Just me starving. No, I'm just kidding. I remember that 7 days. I was like, woo. But it's worth it.
Yes.
You know, it's definitely worth it. Like one of you guys said, Jesus could do 40 days. Who am I to be like, I ain't giving you 7?
Yeah.
And really, there's nothing that we could ever do to repay God.
Right.
If He's saying, hey, I need you to sit down for this 7 days, so be it. I think now, like, when I first started fasting, it was like this great appreciation. And then for a minute, we was fasting so much, I was like, oh, God, I'm tired of fasting.
Do it for me, Lord.
I'm tired. But now it's like that appreciation. And it's like, because I think of it as like Him wanting to spend time with me. That's dope.
I think that was a real eye-opener for you when I advised you, you know, that He just wants to spend time with you when He calls you, when He beckons you to fast, to go on this amount of days. Oh my God,
Like, it's a reasonable service.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so but does it help your vision? Does your vision change when you fast?
Yes. And it's kind of a double thing. My vision changes because you can't really, like all the trickery kind of stops.
Yeah.
But also it's like the clarity of the things that you see. And oh my goodness, sometimes it could be annoying. It's like, why you just can't do what you're supposed to do? But then you'll be sitting like, oh, come on. And then with everything going on, for me, sometimes like it'll get so ratchet, like, let me just go in my room. Close it down. Coloring my little saved coloring book. Blessed is she who believes. I mean, that coloring book, like, the first thing I opened up to yesterday was half face. I'm like, oh, okay, Holy Spirit. Okay, Holy. It's like, and it's crazy too because so many things happen when I fast. Literally today, I never watched the TJ live stream live, and I cut it on, and he's like, and I'm not talking about a gradual change. I'm talking about a radical change.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, Bishop. Now you got to get me stirred up. I haven't seen 5 seconds. I don't know what you're talking about. But you know, like little things like that, they become so very impactful. It's like the vision is crazy. It's so clear and very concise. And if you really trust God in it, you be like, no, I'm not tripping. I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
That's good.
I love that. Okay, so for me, you were talking about intimacy, and I feel like everybody kind of talks about intimacy, but I was like, dang, because I was just realizing or reminding myself in that conversation is how different that God's intimacy is really like no other. And I was like, ooh, come on down, Lord.
Yeah.
Feeling things, but I was just thinking about how fasting for me really has changed my life tremendously too. But I was thinking about how it really allows me to decrease fully and let Him increase. And that's what I always, like when I'm praying, that's what I'll pray for. It's like, Lord, like none of me but all of you. Like how you be talking about go low, like let me go low so you go high. That's really how I be feeling, like dang, because my flesh is not it. So it's like let you take the wheel for real. But that part, and then also thinking about fasting, I feel like it could be, we do it for a multitude of reasons. And I think about how I started off, I didn't even know what fasting was, where we going nowhere fast. Also, what is this and why are we doing it, or like what is the purpose kind of thing.
When you found out, what were you like, and what was said to you when you were like, what is fasting?
What was said to me? I think I remember I was like, dang, honestly, I was questioning it. Like, we really not gonna eat? Like, and I'm not gonna lie, because I remember these two were going on fast with you, and they were like, yeah, you want fast with us? And I think you might have even asked me, but I wasn't living here yet. I wasn't like out here yet like that. And then I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I think I could do it. Definitely was not in the space to do it. I was not up there yet. And then I think about my first fast, and I don't remember if I did 2. I'm not sure.
You did 2.
It was 2? Oh, okay. A little 2.
Yeah.
And then finally
2
3.
is big.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay.
That's big, especially when you ain't even went 2 hours.
Right, because you know,
That's
Cupcake was
huge.
talking about being at work, and then be like, "Oh, you're fasting." People at my job, they'd be like, 7 days.
Right.
No food. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But that's really how I was. I was really like, no food. Like,
Right.
like, dang, okay. But like,
Why
but
your
then
eye almost got big as glass?
right, but I just remember, I think hearing, I don't remember specifically what I was told, but I do remember in the beginning hearing things like what fasting has done for you specifically, and even for y'all. You're like, I'm just starting in this, but it's really helped me. Cupcake would talk about how it helped her really get over things in her walk, especially in the beginning. And so then I realized for me that has helped me too.
Yeah.
And fasting really, even recently, it's been almost a year already, but fasting has helped me get over offense. Which is like, hey,
Yeah.
but
Hey,
also,
hey,
and then
hey,
we talk
hey,
about those
hey.
things, the cool things, like that. But then also fasting, like we talk about, it can be a mind regulator, like she was saying. And then also talking about how fasting can get you out of things that you didn't even realize you were putting yourself in.
Yeah.
And then when you really need God, and then you don't know where else to turn, fasting really can be that thing where you are showing him how much you really need him.
Yes.
And you want to submit to him and say, I'm, like you said, I'm godly sorry, Lord, and I don't know what to do but fast.
Yes.
And I was there, and you had to, this 5 days, Baxter, you got to get it going, or else it's going to be a lot of things that happen that you don't want to happen.
Right,
So,
right.
thankfully, fasting is available to us. We're able to get into our bag and also and really get into that intimate with God that he really wants us to be.
Do you feel more loved and overwhelmed with love when you're fasting?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, although me and Rosie were talking about the little irritations that be happening, but it's so funny because you can also see, although you can see the little irritations, you can see the ways that things move, but you can also see the ways that God really has kept you. And I think it's like a different adoration for me, for sure. And I feel like I don't always hear God, but I definitely can feel him. And I can, and when I do hear him, especially when I'm fasting and when I'm praying, and I can feel him and just the ways that he is with me and just comforting me, especially.
Yes. Would you say your desires change when you fast?
Oh yeah, definitely, because like we said, we gotta push that plate back,
Yeah.
but we also gotta really get into that space where, like we said, nothing matters but being pleasing to him in that moment. So we really gotta put all of those things, even the frustrations, we can't for a second. As soon as that thing comes, we gotta put it down, because it's not even about that.
Right.
And of course the enemy would want us to get distracted in that little second about anything and everything else, but the importance is really just being tuned into him.
Yeah. Just to even be like, oh my God, I hate Bodhi bread. It's only Bodhi bread. Like, mad for no reason. You ain't fasting. Why are you even looking at the Bodhi bread? That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Worried about it.
That got nothing to do with you. For me, and I never speak on for myself when I'm on the Bloomies, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my stuff out there. Fasting is a mind regulator. It is a keeper. It is a door opener. It is a door closer. It is a mood swing adjustment. It is love. It is compassion. It is intimacy. It is holding you when you feel like no one loves you. Man, it is so many things. It is, my God, a whole nother step, a whole nother level. When I'm thinking about during these years that I've been saved, and I've been saved for 22 years, and it still feels like just yesterday, last week. And fasting never gets old for me. My longest fast was 23 days. You know, and it was like, not only, for real, you know, loving on him, I lost about 5, 8, 9, 28 pounds. Not that I was trying to, but it was just that I wanted to go to a whole nother level. It really takes you to another level. It gets you to a point where you just hear him. He ain't even said nothing, but you feel him. You feel him down in the shondo. You feel him all around you. It's like you get in the bed and he didn't come and snuggle behind you. Just that comforting. He is really just a classy gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Where you can just feel like when you're fasting, even though y'all not eating and you sitting at the table with your word, he come and he pull the chair out for you and push you into the table as you guys sit and you delve into that word. He is just that, hey, can't nobody do you like Jesus. Man, just that. Man, it gets your skin clear. I ain't even gonna lie, it gets you right. I look 13 all these years because I've been fasting a day or two. You know what I'm saying?
You don't fast, you don't last.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't fast, you won't last. It gets you, because from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, you know, as you guys continue to go through your walk, you see the devil starts to try to creep up with things and try to throw junk on you and gunk and all of these things, and you got to know how to maneuver. The Bible says to be cunning as a serpent and to be as loving as a dove. You know, so you have to learn how to maneuver. You know, a serpent knows how to move in and out those things. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes you got, you see something over there, and it gets even a greater unction in you when you're fasting. Your discernment, that thing in you, and I'm going like this because I feel it in my belly. Be like, hey, you know, it's like it's that pressing that man. It does a wonder. I don't understand how people don't want to fast. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you'll eat again. It's not like you said fast all the rest of your life. You'll eat again. But what you get in gaining of fasting, child, girl, girl, it ain't nothing like it. Man, for him to wake you up in the midnight hour when things are going haywire and you need to pray for that loved one. You know what I'm talking about. When somebody is into some things and you can say, Lord, dispatch your angels out on their behalf because you're so in tune with them. He said, I just need you to clip up to me a little bit. I just need to spend a little time with you. Can I go out on a date with you? It's like, oh, you're my boyfriend. You just feel good. You know, you want to put on an extra pair of long baby girls for him. It's like, man, I'm sitting with the king, okay? Right. You know? And so it's fasting for me. It's just, man, it's that whipped cream on top of that drink. Y'all know I don't like coffee, but I just take the whipped cream off coffee. It's just the whipped cream on it. It's the topping of everything. It's the presentation of your whole walk. You walk different. You talk different. You live different. You act different. You feel different. You see different. You desire different. All of these things fasting does for you. It says these come out through only fasting and praying. And when you're dealing with childhood hurt, you're dealing with disappointment, you're dealing with mama issues, daddy issues, family issues, life issues, partner issues. Man, that fasting, you'll be like, all right, stud, you go on now. Go on. I ain't about to argue with you. I ain't got the time. I'm in a lovely place. It reminds me of just butterflies, just like, you know, just everything is just really rainbow and unicorns. For fasting, for me, I can't do this thing without it. It's for sure. If you don't fast, you won't last. Because then you start seeing all of those old things coming and creeping back up. And they come bring a partner this time. He like, oh, I'm going to give my partner lust. And then Lust like, oh, I can't do this thing without lying. And lying like, oh, go get cheating. Come on, cheating. Come on. Right. It's open. Come on, hurry up. Right. Before you close the door, before you like, oh, I done had enough, let me go back to fasting. Now you got to go back and get delivered from all of those other things these people, they done brung on you. Right. That's my thing. It's just, I love fasting. We not no coke. This is in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Jesus fasted 40 days, 40 nights. It's in the Bible. John fasted. It's in there. And it does help you. It does regulate you. It does keep you. It does preserve you. It does protect you. Because it protects every aspect of you. Your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit, even your peace. Because it's like, no, I can't let no devil come and disturb my peace. I'm in my own little square. Ain't even no bubble. I'm in my own little square because I'm peculiar like that. It protects you from that. I think this was a pretty dope one that you guys came up with, that fasting, because this is my dish. I'm like, tap me in. Like, you know, this is what I've thrived and lived on for all of these years, and I can say that I've not gone back. Not one time. When I told them, come live, die, sink or swim, it's you and only you. And it had to incorporate fasting. I wouldn't have been able to do it all of these years, especially with children that don't listen. Especially with children that don't listen. But that's the topic that we were talking about today on the Bloomies, darling, on the Bloomies. I'm Sweets.
I'm Rosie.
I'm Baxter.
I'm Cupcake.
And I'm Mish.
And we're out.